Nice little special for you today. So, got Nathan. He's travelled down from Newcastle. Nice drive this morning.
No.
So I've been working with Nathan now for over 12 months, and we're actually doing a photo shoot today. We're going to get his kit off soon and see what he's looking like, but trust me, on his pitch he's looking really good. But what we thought we'd do is we'd get in the studio, we'd have a little bit of a chat, and we'd kind of basically go over the journey and kind of like how things have been for Nate, what are things that he's struggled with, what he's done well. Nate is also an online coach, so he's got experience working with all his clients and stuff like that. Again, I'm a coach, I've got a coach, so this is just kind of like proof in the pudding that having a coach, having someone to hold you accountable is massively beneficial in whatever you do. So, tell us a little bit about yourself. Start back, kind of what got you into fitness, what got you into training and stuff like that, mate.
Well, I was playing rugby like pretty much all my life since about the age of about 4, 5-ish or so, and then obviously you had to keep up with the gym and that. You have to at a certain point, especially being skinny from a young age, you've got to keep putting some size on. You've got to keep, progressing in your fitness. And then after that, it got to the point with rugby where it was like, am I getting the return from it for the effort that I'm putting in to the money that I'm getting out of it? Like I'm fucked all the time. I was shagged. So I thought, no, this is not for me. Probably didn't leave on the best of terms, but we'll leave that.
Because you was playing quite a high level, weren't you?
Yeah, I was playing. So Newcastle turned full time. So it was part time, kind of like full time, and then it turned into full time. Everybody's jobs. I was doing my degree at the time as well, so I had to bounce between the two, and then it went back to part time when everything went wrong, which again we don't have enough time for, but. So we did that, and then back to part-time, and I was doing my final year at uni. I was starting up PTing at a gym, and then obviously all the rugby stuff going on with that, it was too much to handle. The disc went, and I thought, brilliant, uni's out the way with, so we'll focus on something, right, what's actually bringing me, not even money, but like enjoyment, like what am I sitting down and going, I'm looking forward to waking up to and getting done, and it was the PTing, so I thought, we'll sack this off. Yeah, we'll just sack it off.
It's a mad one, that, because when we first spoke, I could literally see the journey you're on now is exactly the journey that I've been on. So I used to play rugby myself, and it got to a point where, you might be the same, where you stop enjoying it. When you're young, you think, yeah, I'm going to be a professional rugby player. This is what I want to do. And then you get to a certain point, and it's like, do I really want to do this?
Yeah, if you aren't in the top 1%, like, again, it's probably the same with all sports, like, it's not just rugby, but if you aren't really in that top bracket, and especially, not to put too fine a point on it, but outside of this sort of area here, is that it does get harder, and that's not an excuse, but it does get harder. Like, you potentially don't have as much of a look in, and when you are doing the same as the ones that do get paid potentially enough, not the same performance, but putting the same hours in, and then you're getting I wouldn't even know the return.
Yeah. So, what did you do at uni?
Applied sports science for coaching. So literally ties in straight away.
Yeah, perfect. So at what point then did you decide, like, you know what, I'm first and foremost want to start PTing? What was that moment where you went, I'm going to go all in on this?
Well, I knew I needed, as soon as we went down from full-time to part-time, I was like, right, I need another job. What do I enjoy? Right, I enjoy training, so I can train other people. Like, I can't see it being that much of a challenge, but it is, because you've got to take into account all sorts. And then the more and more I started to develop and build up a client base, and had people asking me questions, I thought, I'm getting so much fulfillment out of this, and I'm getting outside and I'm smiling, and I'm like, oh, I'm like a bit sad to leave. Like, it sounds a bit wet, but like you get hooked on it, and you get hooked on whatever you give out, you get straight back at you. Yeah. So it was like, well, no, I was just being treated like meat at rugby.
Yeah.
Nah, fuck that.
Good. Well, listen, you're smashing it now, mate, and obviously you've got loads of clients and you're still kind of PTing. And I know going forward you're eventually going to kind of transition to fully online, but I do believe what you're doing right now in terms of hours in the gym, massively important. A lot of people try and skip that part and go straight to online. Doesn't work. You need hours in the gym. You need to build up that actual dealing with people face to face. So obviously you're a coach, you're well exercised, well trained yourself, you know what you're doing, you've got a degree, which is better than me because I'm a uni dropout. So at what point did you decide, you know what, I'm actually going to get a coach and I'm going to invest back into myself, and why?
So at the point where I messaged you, I was on a train, and I thought, like, I was going down to London, having a bit of time away, and I thought, I'm not happy with what I'm doing, and I've been doing it for a long time. Even though I was younger, I thought, well, I've still been doing it for a long time, and I probably should be further along than what I am. And I'd seen you on my For You page a couple of times, and I thought, who the fuck is this? Like I sat around and I was like, yeah, he's got tats up to his neck. I thought, fucking surely not. And then I looked up and I was like, no, like he's in good nick. He looks like he's got his shit together. Like, and then you had a form, and I was like, right, okay, let's just fill that in. And we spoke about it, and I can't remember if I definitely spoke to you right early on at the start, where it was like things had went from bad to worse in terms of when rugby stopped, or when it was off season, or when I was injured. I didn't know what to do with myself. Like, I was dealing with it through alcohol, I was dealing with it through drugs, like, and maybe once or twice, became 3 or 4 times, then it became days and days on the bounce.
Yeah, mate, I've been there myself, and I remember exactly what you're talking about. I'm pretty sure it was around Christmas time. I remember I was having a conversation, and you was not kind of losing your head completely, but I could start to see these things.
I was on the verge of it.
Yeah, because I started to see, like, he's not really doing too good. We need to really fucking sort his shit out before we go down a bad path. Because I've been down that bad path, and so many lads go down that bad path, and unfortunately they've not got someone there to fucking grab them out of it. So obviously decided to jump on with the coaching, and you know, it's been over 12 months now, mate. We started in a fat loss phase, so we looked to get you as lean as possible, and we've actually gone into a growing phase, and we've stripped you back down. And when you see his pictures and his videos, he's a monster now. So when you was doing the coaching, what was you looking for joining a coach? Obviously you're a coach yourself, but what was you looking for from somebody else?
So first of all, I was convinced that I knew what I was doing, and it must just be me. It must just be like I'm the odd one out, the anomaly, and so I must be doing something wrong. So I bit the bullet, and I was like, no, that needs sorted, because I wasn't stupid. I'm not stupid. Where I must be doing something. So I thought, right, well, I need to pack on some size here, and that was tied in with rugby at the time, kind of going into the part-time stuff. I thought, I'm playing in the middle. I'm getting battered about all the time. I'm just shy of 90 kilos, which, mate, as you know, you're fucked. You're not getting it,
especially in the middle.
Fuck me, I was getting chucked about all week. but you do, and then it was as well from like an ego standpoint. I was always the really skinny one at school, always the skinniest, probably one of the skinniest in my friendship group. And I thought, like, it's a bit demoralising, and it maybe not be to some people, but to me, I was like, I'm looking in the mirror. I am not fucking happy. I am not, like, far from it. And to be fair though, you won't be. I don't think somebody ever would be like full time, but you do get better at it, and you realise that okay, yeah, something does need to change, and you do need to do.
I think you said an important thing there, mate. You looked in the mirror and you was not happy with what you looked at, but you know, you'd be surprised how many people do that every single day and do fuck all about it.
Yeah.
Now, there's 2 reasons why people don't really do things about it. Is number one is fear of failure, so they'd rather not attempt something because then they're not going to fail, therefore they're not going to have that let down feeling. And number 2 is they don't actually know what to do. So in your case, you kind of did have an understanding as to kind of what you was doing with your training and your diet and stuff like that, but it is good to have someone to kind of pick you up, put you on a different path, try new things and stuff like that, mate. Mm-hmm. So what did you find was the most kind of valuable thing that you learned with coaching with myself? So many. The list is too big.
No, fuck me. You need to. No, you do need. I mean, you can pick whoever you want. Like at the end of the day, you can, but you do need someone that you think first of all, like, oh God, this is going to turn into blowing smoke up the arse session. But you do need someone like you think, well, he's got what I don't. He looks like he's got his shit together. He's in good nick. Like, I want that. So how does he get that? So all the main part of it, out of all of it, is just someone to go either, right, do you need support or do you need a kick up the arse? And your ability to be able to flick between the two was what helped. So remember when I started going to the diet phase, I was like, right, fuck me, I'm hungry. And then you just sent me a text being like, well, you need to
I said, it's going to get worse.
Fucking suck it up.
It's going to get worse.
Jesus, I was sitting at the back end of it yesterday and I was like, fucking hell, why was I whinging near Christmas? But you do need someone to go, right, if you need support, where maybe it be the anxiety, or you're scared of going into the gym for the first time, or you don't like the way you look, you need that support. But at the same time, I need someone to go, stop being a bitch. And that was me. Like, I need someone to go, stop being a bitch. You need to do it.
Yeah. So obviously you're similar to me. You like a drink, you like a bit of a party. You know, we like to enjoy ourselves. We do, because ultimately, you know, we work hard, we look after ourselves, but yeah, we want a bit of free time now. How have you managed that? Let's break it down into two parts. So obviously, like in the bulk, in the growing phase, where we're in an abundance of calories, and let's break it down into kind of like the diet phase, and when we've like really tightened things up. So in the off season, whatever you want to call it, how did you manage like social events and going out, going for a drink? How did you kind of approach that? Because obviously we had conversations when them things came up.
Yeah.
But how did you, in your mind, approach that?
So at the start, before working with you, it was, well, I'm in a bulk. That means I can just go eat and drink whatever I want. And the more pints, the better, because I'm getting in more calories. And it was like a fucking dream come true here. But I thought, as soon as you were speaking about it, and it's like, well, alcohol's going to kill this off, and then you're going to feel shit the next day. You aren't going to be able to eat as much. And then, you know, you different sort of reactions. You can just map it out, but it just takes that 10 minutes of just, right, where am I going? Right, what sort of food is it? Okay, well, have I done everything prior to that on the day and the week that sort of like mentally allows me to sit there and be comfortable? Because if I haven't done everything right Monday through Friday and I've got something Friday night, how can I go out? How can I? Why do I deserve it?
On the flip side, how much better do you feel going out enjoying that shit, knowing you've done everything you need to?
But you've got to like as soon as you've done something where you think like, I have done it, you almost, it's probably not what you want to advocate, but you do push the night out a bit harder. Like, you do go and smile, you go listen, you enjoy.
I advocate that. I'm like, you know, if you're going out, if you go in for a drink, personally, go for it.
Everything off and go for it, yeah.
And then get back on plan. I don't see the point in going to the pub for a couple of pints and stuff like that, each to their own. But personally, if I'm planning something and I know it's coming up, it's getting smashed.
Balls to the wall.
Yeah. So obviously in kind of like your off-season stuff, we had a bit of lenience where you could still have off-plan meals, you still could go for a drink, and we incorporated things in, you know, when you're meeting with friends and stuff. Diet phase, we're literally last day of it, okay? Obviously, when we sat down and we had a chat, we wanted to push it. We wanted to kind of go, I want to take it as far as I can, and I want to get in the best shape possible. And, you know, based on that conversation, I said, fine, that's doable, but then you need extreme sacrifices. Now, I don't advocate this for everyone, because it's not for everyone. Not everyone wants to make them sacrifices. But yourself, obviously in the diet phase, how's it been?
Rough as toast, yeah. I mean, there's no getting around it. Like, it is rough as toast, but it was what we were speaking about before, where the majority of people just want to lose X amount of weight so they can fit into a dress or look good in a bikini, and that's fine. Like, each to their own. But for me, it was like I get a bit addicted to things, so that's what led into the drinking, the drugs, where it was like before that I needed to feel good about something, and I would push that as far as I could. When I stepped away from that, I was like, right, well, I need a focus, and I know how addictive and sort of like how much I can send things in terms of a drink side. Surely that must translate into training and putting it in crossing something healthy. So I did. I said, I was like, let's see how far we can push this. Like, let's get something booked in like today, and we set that last year where we're like, once that's set in. That's done, that's set in stone, we've got to do it.
Yeah, of course. And I think again, I'm the same, mate, addictive personality. Like, I can get hooked. I put something on my story the other day about Vinted, when I'm selling clothes. Like,
I wondered what you were doing.
I'm addicted now to getting my clothes and selling them, okay? It's not, but anyway, so with these addictive personalities and with these kind of like all or nothing mentality, you can translate that, like you just said, into something positive. You know, you can translate it into your business, into your life, into your relationships, or you can do it into negative shit, drink, drugs, alcohol, bad things. And again, it's all comes down to like your mindset and what you want to get out of, you know, life, you know, quite deep, and then turn your sight to that way, and then just go all in on it. Because like what you've achieved in this last few weeks, mate, like, it's unreal. Obviously this last week coming up to this day, we've been doing like daily check-ins, and the reason we're doing daily check-ins, I don't do these with everybody because I know you're on the ball, you never miss a check-in, you was always communicating back and forth, and the reason we did them is because I wanted to see how your body would develop and change over these next
a lot
few
for
days.
me. Every single day it was like fatter, thinner, up, down, swelling, and I was like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah. And again, what we've done here, that's the extreme.
Yeah,
you know,
I wouldn't push
this
anybody
isn't for
else.
everyone. if someone wants this level of results, then it's achievable, but you've got to do the extreme.
Yeah.
So just to make that completely clear, that you can still get in fantastic shape, and have some balance and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
if you then do decide that I don't want the balance, I want to go all in for 12 weeks, I want to dig in, suffer, get the result.
all in.
Yeah, you go all in.
Yeah, I was listening to something down in the car where people say they don't have time to go to the gym, but if I said you've got to meet me for an hour, the drive's 2 hours away, you've got to do that for every single day, I'll give you £10 million each time.
Yeah, you do.
You'd fucking find the time, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
So it's not, you know, you don't have the time, it's maybe the
What
priority.
was you listening to listen to that?
Mike Thurston, easy mate.
It's because I listened to something very similar
Matt
to
does
that.
fitness as well. Matt does fitness, the pair of
It
them.
wasn't that, but I did listen to something like that. So I can vouch that you're someone who has now. You have no time for excuses, okay? Before you started with me, I think you was, again, I've been there as well, a bit of self-pity, a bit of like, I'm a victim. And I think before you started with me, that's maybe how you felt a little bit. You know, you've openly said that to me. So now, zero excuses from you now. Listen, you get shit done all the time. What would you say has been the biggest thing that's changed that mindset to, I'm a victim, nothing's going my way, to everything's in my control?
You know what, I was thinking about this in terms of how I probably put it across to clients, and sometimes I can't pinpoint what starts it off, because I think it'll start off for different people in different ways. But for me it was, if I'm putting maybe some money or some more time into this, I will get the return. And for me it was the trust in you, in myself, in terms of if I'm constantly putting my time and effort into something which is also proven to work, then if it doesn't work, then that's fine. Like, it was the fear of failure that would always stop me of going, well, I don't want to try, because if it goes wrong and I look like a tit, and then I've wasted this amount of time when I could have been going out partying. But that wasn't getting me anywhere, so I thought, well, let's just direct it, let's just shift the direction into a better way. If I put everything in and it doesn't work, I can leave that happy. Like, I can leave it all right. So,
but even in that instance, like, even let's say, you know, something different, let's say business, or a business venture, or with work, let's say you put all in and you don't get exactly what you wanted out of it. Just think about all the experiences and the characteristics and the things that you've learned on that journey. Like, learning and developing is done when you fuck up and fail.
Yeah.
If it's just a straight path to success or achievement, there's no point. Well, there is a point, but it's not like you don't learn anything.
Yeah, I don't say there is. I would rather, only now would I rather kind of like fuck up a little bit, because well, first of all, I keep saying to myself, right, well, if I'm young, fair enough, right, well, I've got a bit more time to fuck up. But even then, as you do get older, it's like, well, is any of it going to matter? Like, unless you're going to lose your house, like, is it really going to matter? Probably not. So it's when you start telling yourself the excuses day in, day out, or maybe something doesn't go your way, you've got a fear of failure, and you tell yourself an excuse: don't have the time, don't have the money to buy this gym membership, I don't have whatever. And then the more you tell yourself that, the more you believe it. And it works the opposite way around when you get that snowball going in the opposite direction, where if you tell yourself, yeah, this is going to work, it's going to work, it will fucking work.
Yeah.
If you tell yourself it won't work, you're right.
Yeah. So I think a lot of people watching this will be in that position right now where they're in this cycle where they can't really break out of it. They can't find the time, they can't find the gym membership, they can't eat healthy options. What would you say to that person now watching this?
Oh, dead honest.
Tell them. Fucking tell them.
No. Well, I think when you get caught in that cycle, it's fucking easy to stick in it. It's easy, and that's the easy route. But if you stick in that cycle and you're expecting something different in return, it's going to end probably one of two ways, and neither of them are good, where you can end up pushing everybody else away from you, or you could end up having nothing and you don't even like yourself. So you need to kind of go, right, well, we're gonna break free. And one thing I think I was very close to doing was leaving it to breaking point before I spoke to you. So I was at the point where I thought, shit, like, if I recognised it, and I thought, if I don't do something now, how bad is it going to have to get for me before I either lose everything, nobody likes me, nobody speaks to me because I've been a bit of a dickhead, or do I try and make a change? And you've got to take that leap.
And I think sometimes as well, it does take people to hit rock bottom. Like, there's been multiple times in my life where I've literally been rock bottom. Like, I'll be straight up, crying, broken down, not depressed, just in a bad place. And I've had to be in that place to go the opposite way. And a lot of people don't go the opposite way because it's not bad enough yet. It's not it's not uncomfortable enough yet to actually go, I need to fucking change something with my life. But what you don't want to do is like have a serious health scare or to lose everything and everyone around you, to actually go, right, I need to do something now. You need to nip it in the bud before that happens.
Well, I went on to the antidepressant route. So basically, without putting too fine a point of it, because I'm aware where this goes, is that drink, drugs, scene, whatever, and then it got to the point where on a night out, something happened to me that led to a diagnosis of like a form of PTSD, which led to anxiety, depression, real big trust issues with everybody around me, which led actually to me sitting in my flat actually ringing the police, because I thought, you know what, if I don't feel like I can ring anybody, not because of them, but because of I don't want to worry them. But I thought, sitting in my flat, I thought, you know what, like, I reckon there's just going to take one more bad thought for me to do something stupid. So rang them, they came round, then I'm on antidepressants for however many years, and I thought, like, that was my rock bottom point. And that happened during we were coaching, and but that was fine. And that's one thing I kind of get across as well, is that it gets better. So over these past, I think I was looking at it yesterday, it was like 70 weeks. So over 70 weeks, it's got better, but it's also fucking dipped massively at some points, which is fine. I think when people see these transformations, they just think you go from zero to hero, like completely linear. Where I think you can agree as well, you don't, like, you are going to have them dips, and that's fine, like, that's natural.
Yeah, you know what, mate, regardless of like the physical transformation that you've gone through now, I think the emotional and the actual personal development is far trumps everything else. Like, and I think in life, right, is never a straight path of like, I'm going to be happy and I'm going to feel happy all day, every day. It's not, okay? There's ups and downs, there's highs, there's lows, there's, you know, there's heartbreak, there's happy days and stuff like that. Now, fucking write that down. But if you don't have them low points, you don't have them shit times, then you're never going to experience or fully appreciate the better times. Yeah. So, you know, you've always got to go up and down. And I think as soon as you start managing them and start understanding, like, I'm not feeling too great now, what's my next move, what can I do? That's okay. What's not okay is being in that hole,
sitting on your hands
and pitting yourself and going, oh, nothing's going my way. Like, sometimes you've got to be a bit ruthless with yourself and get the fuck on with it and do something.
You can have all the support network around you. At the end of the day, like, no one's going to fucking pull you out of it, because people either get sick of you or and you'll have nobody. But at the end of the day, someone can't go force you to talk yourself, or to talk to someone, or to get a coach or eat healthier food. They're not going to put in your mouth for you. Then you're not a kid. Like, if you're a grown adult, yeah, you do need the support, it's necessary, but they can't physically, they can influence your actions, they can't make you do the actions, because no one can, unfortunately, and it's a bitter one to swallow.
Of course. Right, we've covered quite a bit there, mate. So obviously we went a bit deep there, but you know what? It's all authentic, it's all real. So obviously we're just being ourselves. We're lads at the end of the day. We experience the same things that you guys experience watching. But I think we should finish this on a bit more of a positive note. So we'll just do some quick fire questions to you, mate. Okay?
Oh shit!
You've got 3 seconds to answer. No pausing, no start. You ready?
Go on.
Tits or ass?
Pass. Ass. Fuck.
Beer or cider?
Oh, beer.
Cider, me.
Really?
Yeah. Beach holidays or cold holidays?
Beach holidays.
Obviously, I don't think he's...
Fuck me.
Football or rugby? Obviously.
Still.
Rugby. So tell me, what is the most embarrassing moment of your life today?
Fuck me, have we got enough time? Jesus. Oh my God. Mate, I'm not being funny. Every single one of them I've told is just, like, to other people, it's not something I'm going to put out there. Something, obviously, they all that's tricky situations.
Yeah, fair enough. That's maybe probably get ourselves.
My mum's watching this, you know.
No, but listen, mate, it's been a pleasure, and obviously you made the trip down from Newcastle. So our plan of action now is we're going to. You bet you're dying for some food and a drink, because
just a fucking drink, mate.
We're going to head to the gym. We're going to pump you up, mate. We're going to get your kit off. We're going to see what condition you're in, and then grab some food after and whatnot, mate.
Loads of it, my man.